Have been pretty clammed up about their massive recalls, but the House Oversight Committee is going to push hard for answers when CEO Akio Toyoda testifies at a hearing this Wednesday. So Lauren Fix, an automotive analyst also known as the car coach, joining us live from Buffalo, New York tonight. Lauren, good to see you. So the committee is going to want to hear much more than "I'm sorry." So what are they digging for? And, you know, what is he exposing or opening himself up to by going here?
Well, I think what they're really looking for is those documents that have been held up in California in the courts. There's 6,000 documents that are going to be arriving on Tuesday. Apparently, there's like 18 bankers' boxes full of documents that should prove, very interestingly, that there may be some cover-ups. Now, we don't know this for a fact, but an apology is not going to cut it this time. I think it's going to be, show us why you didn't go through the steps that were required by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And if they were taken, then prove to us that you did it in the proper manner.
Then why so quietly? Why has the CEO been so relatively quiet about these recalls? He did, you know, we said it was unprecedented. He apologized to a car owner and bowed last week, and everyone's like, wow, this is really unprecedented. Is it cultural that maybe that he's just more reserved or more quiet? Because Americans may, you know, some may say they may have been out in front more about it.
Right, absolutely. I think part of it is the culture. I mean, our culture is, hey, I made a mistake, let's figure this out and let's move forward, which is why Jim Lenz, who's the president of Toyota here in the U.S., did say something immediately. However, in Japan, it's just a different culture, and they do things in a different way. And Mr. Toyoda has always been very private. He's not one to stand out and make a scene. So this is pretty bold of him to come here, and they say he's going to be media trained and ready for the Senate. So this should be a very interesting week.
So, Lauren, how intense is this going to be? Are lawmakers really going to grill him, maybe a bigger grilling than he'd get in his own country?
I think so. I think what's going to happen is first you're going to see Ray LaHood get on the stand. He's going to be questioned. He's in charge of the Administration for National Highway Traffic Safety. They want to make sure that he did his job. Now, there are also 2 ex-employees that are now working for Toyota, and their job is to work on the government end with NHTSA, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. So this should be interesting to see how they're going to find out who's doing what. Is there communication? There are many steps. It's a 3-step process to go to a recall. Was it followed? Did he do his job? Now, much of this happened before he was in his position. So, unfortunately, he will take the bulk of the blame, even though he wasn't there for most of that.
Okay.
And then the second hand, you're going to see Mr. Toyoda get on the stand, and that should be extremely interesting to see how that's going to happen as well. And then you're going to start seeing Department of Transportation getting involved, and it's going to be interesting. But the bottom line is, as I've always said, they needed to take the bull by the horns. They absolutely have to say, listen, we made a mistake, and now we're going to correct it. Stop saying the word fix. We're beyond that.
Well, I think even more than that, Lauren, I think even more than just saying it, I think people just want it to be fixed, and they don't want to turn on the news or open the paper the next day and see another possible recall for something that's different, an accelerator or a brake, or then it's the steering wheel. But listen, the person who is watching at home, why should they care about these hearings? Why should they care if Akio Toyoda is speaking next week?
Well, actually, that's a good question. And I think that you as a consumer need to find out, Toyota wants your business. They've always been good about the Toyota way. And that's why we bought these cars. That's why people felt so, you know, that it was a reliable product. It was quality. It was what we always wanted in a vehicle. So now they have to stand behind that. They have to prove that, listen, we did all the right things. We want your business back. We're changing our ways. Whatever we did wrong, that's behind us. We're now improving. Now, if we see that, their sales will come back. And I don't think they're going to lose that much of sales to begin with, because obviously the cars that are on the show floor today have already been repaired. But having another recall is just another black eye, another punch in the gut. And unfortunately, the last few weeks, basically since February 3rd, it's been nothing but day after day of another recall, another problem, another cover-up. True or not, we don't know. All we know is what we're hearing is very disheartening to people who purchase these cars, and they want to feel comfortable. People stop me every day and say, should I be driving my car? And as long as they know what to do in case there's a problem, absolutely drive your vehicle.
Yeah, so listen, Lauren, thank you, and people should really pay attention to this, because I think the information that's going to come out of these hearings next week, that's going to be good. Thank you, Lauren Fix.
Interesting. Thank you, Don.